Hey, Natsu here. Today I'm going to do part 5 of what if Deku had, ate the magma fruit. So in the last part, the Stain arc happened. Stain was defeated really easily because, Deku can literally not be harmed by blades. Or anything for that matter that isn't water or ice. So, since there's no hockey and the only thing that can counter a devil fruit in this is the sea or another devil fruit. So, well, and the elements that are basically made to destroy it. But yeah, since Deku has literally the embodiment of the less affected material on Earth, he can basically not be stopped easily. Most metal basically melt, since he can become the most, the hottest or most dangerous lava of all, or just become one of the least hot. Like, Ikanu's probably just always going for the strongest simply because that's what he wants. But Deku can control it, and basically, if he wants, he can be hotter, less hot, um, become a type of lava that basically produce toxic gas, or become one that's basically you could stand next to it and not even have any problem. So yeah. Now we go for well, the day of going back to school. So the first thing that happens is the test with All Might. Deku, all that he trained was being in water, still being able to move, so he didn't improve it strength-wise, which doesn't really matter since he's already probably, well, since the time he is, and literally told it, he could beat All Might, and it's no joke. So basically, first thing that happens is the test where they have to get to him. And yeah, Deku basically just turns into a blob of lava and just goes on everything. So he gets there first. Actually, he doesn't even need to do that. He could literally just jump up, get on top of something, and just jump towards All Might. He doesn't do that. In the one where Shoto is doing it, he gets first place in that one as well. A bit slower than Deku, but still pretty fast. Bakugo basically gets first in his for good reasons. But yeah, so after that happening, um, it's a bit of wait. Basically, they have school life, and then they learn that they're going to have a test where it's written exam and then something else. Just like in the anime, they go ask and they get told that they're going to fight robots. Deku is thinking, we're too strong for that. We already fought against villains multiple times, so I would be surprised if they just put robots against us. Even if they put multiple zero pointers, there's like 4 of us that could probably destroy them easily. Why do I say 4? Firstly, there's Bakugo, that just thanks to his explosion, he could probably destroy one of the legs, making it fall completely. Shoto could, literally freeze them or burn them completely. Deku himself can literally just melt them off. And the last one is actually Tokoyami, because Deku is thinking that, he just needs to get under it and basically make a shadow, his dark shadow, lose control and destroy it. He could, but he doesn't want to, so he wouldn't do that. But that's basically what he's thinking. So, at the same time, he knows Kaminari can pass through the metal easily, but he didn't think of him. So yeah. So basically Deku gets easily a 100 on the test. And then they learn that, oh yeah, no, you're fighting the teachers. The teams are made, which are Bakugo and Deku against All Might in last place. And yeah, basically everyone gets the same places. Everyone basically wins about the same way, except for Momo Shoto. That Shoto basically has a lot more strength, so it's kind of easier for them to win. Momo still has the same problem, and it gets resolved by the end of it. Um, so, in the end, basically, it gets down to Bakugo and Deku against All Might. Bakugo tells, well, the moment they arrive, basically asks Deku, so how do you want to do that? Because he is a bit more okay, since he knows Deku can literally kill him if he wants to. So he asks Deku, so how are we going to fight against him? Which Deku basically just said, you run, I fight. Which Bakugo basically gets a bit angry, saying, hey, if you're fighting, I'm fighting too. Which Deku said, if you want, but physically I'm probably just a match for him, and you're nowhere close to my physical strength. Plus he has the blast when he, well, the air blast when he punch. You're probably, well, even your gauntlets probably won't do much if he does that. Which Bakugo says, yeah, but I'm still a good distraction. Which Deku responds, yeah, but he knows I'm there. Which Bakugo kind of just says, I'm still fighting. Sorry. And then it starts, and literally, All Might throws the same punch. Um, since All Might didn't get the same damage, he is still a bit stronger. Well, he didn't get the same damage in the USG attack, thanks to Deku, but still, he's still weaker than Deku, mostly because of the weight he has. They feel the pressure. Deku basically tells Bakugo to grab onto him. He's going to start running, and Deku's fast, so Bakugo just listens, and they start running. All Might start going towards them, and in the middle, basically, they see each other, and All Might doesn't see Bakugo though. Bakugo's literally grabbing on Deku's back, not looking in front simply because, well, he doesn't want to be seen if All Might is looking. So All Might just thinks, okay, he left Bakugo away for the fight. Then Deku got ready for a punch, All Might too. They launched the punches, and the wind blast basically was starting to push Deku away a bit. And then he said now. Bakugo got just over his shoulder, took off the pin that was in his gauntlets, and All Might basically was just looking down a barrel of a massive explosion. He moved out of the way, but not in the right direction, and basically got punched to the ground by Izuku. All Might was just about to get back up when Izuku put the tape around him and said, you lose. All Might basically didn't even see that coming. Both the speed and the tactic, like, Bakugo's speed isn't fast enough to take him by surprise, but Deku's speed, oh, that's a whole other story. as well as he had to be careful because, well, Deku is made of lava. So punching him straight on would probably be the worst idea ever. Just ask Shigaraki, who now with one of his hand can only rust metal instead of disintegrating everything. So yeah. um, so after that happening, sorry, I don't know what's got into me. Um, so they basically won. Um, they get told that it was really a good way of fighting. Then they told Bakugo that it would have been pretty dangerous for All Might if he wasn't able to move out of the way. Which, all he says was just, it was Deku's plan, which basically made everyone kind of look at Deku, and Deku just said, even if he didn't move out of the way, if even if he didn't move out of the way, I was already preparing the punch. He would have been dropped down before it happened. So everyone basically just looked at him like, are you freaking kidding me? If he would have been hit by that, he would have died. So after that happened, the same thing with them um, doing the thing at the pool. Um, Deku was literally training for this, not just playing in the pool. When they did the race, he was just jumping over it. So in the last thing where Bakugo, Shoto, and Deku were the ones to go, Bakugo and Shoto's quirk were stopped, but Deku still got to the other side and basically won. Aizawa told them that it was over, and then the next day they go to the mall where Shigaraki is there. He sees Deku and basically nopes the hell out of there because he doesn't want to lose his other hand. Because if he attacks any one of his friends, he basically knows that, okay, yeah, if he gets angry, he might destroy the place. But I'm in that place. I don't want to get close to that. So he left. Um, so now we go to the forest training arc. I'm going to switch a small, tiny detail in this for the race, which is that when they arrive and that they basically get presented, after they get dropped, Aizawa basically told them that they had to pass all the way towards where the camp was, then looked at Deku and told him, you have a different test. Which he asked, okay, then why did you drop me? Which he said, because you were in the group. What I want you to do is actually just stay away from them and just walk all the way there. Well, literally run all the way there, I should say. Because he knows that he has a lot of endurance. But he thinks he's over exaggerating when he says 3 days of full fighting, non-stop. So he basically tells Deku that he wants him to run all the way through the forest without using his quirk, and to try and get there before they arrive. Which, yeah, Deku basically just said, okay, tell me when. He basically says go, and Deku just gone. Like, nobody was able to try and grab onto him, and he was already gone. Then he looked at everyone else and said, you have to pass through the forest, and survive, and then just left. Everyone basically hears the scream of one of the monsters. Basically, it's just because it was in the way of Deku. He just punched it, breaking it, and just kept running. Pixie Bob just said, "Whoa, you told the kid not to use his quirk, but he still punched one of my monsters in one, well, destroyed it in one hit." Which Aizawa said, "Yeah, that's not his quirk. He has a lava quirk." Which both Mandela and Pixie Bob looked at him and said, "He has no strength quirk?" Which Aizawa said, "No strength quirk, no speed quirk. Oh, his body can turn fully into lava, and his only weakness is water and ice. He's getting better with the water though." Which they ask him, "Okay, how is water his weakness?" Which he then says that when he's dropped into water, his body hardens a bit, well, just enough for him to not be able to move normally. But he's starting to get better at controlling that, and he's starting to be able to move more. Which both of them just kind of reacts, well, in the same way that practically everyone, like, "Oh, that makes sense." Koda being there basically just thinks so my work can stop him. What hero can he be? What he doesn't know is that, yeah, no, your quirk is totally useless against him. You basically need to drop him in a lake or a pool to make him stop. When they arrive, Deku's basically just sitting there. Well, literally, he's not even sitting, he's just lying down and sleeping. Aizawa woke him up and asked him when he got there. He basically, let's just say there's a clock on the place where they sleep. He looks and said, "About 40 minutes ago." Yeah, no joking. He basically says around 5 minutes before you did. Which Aizawa says, "I was sure you would take less time than that." Which Deku just said, "Yeah, no, I decided to, well, to be exact, I didn't just try to get here. I actually, about at the halfway point, took a giant boulder and was bringing it with me." Basically, he points to a boulder and says, "That one," which is basically 2 times his mass, well, his size, I should say. And both Mandalay and Pixie Bob are just kind of jaw dropped, like, what the hell? Well, not twice his size, but twice his weight, I should say. Yeah, twice his weight. Which they're basically just reacting like, what the hell? Then Koda just looks at him and just kind of, well, basically with the same face as in the anime. He asks who the kid is. Pixie Bob goes to be angry, and he just says, "Because I didn't think any of you would have kids by now." So Mandalay basically explains, um, well, that it's his nephew, well, her nephew, and that she's just keeping him. He goes to present himself, and Koda just kind of tries to punch him. And yeah, no, Deku moves out of the way. Koda basically acts, well, gets mad at this, and then Deku said, "Don't try to do that, you're gonna lose your hand," and basically just transform full into lava. Then Mandalay said, "Yeah, but Eraser would have erased your core before that happens," which Eraserhead then says, "No, for some reason I'm not able to actually erase his quirk." Which both of them look at him like, "Wait, what?" "His quirk is a transformation quirk. You should be able to do anything you want with it." Which Dekuga gets back up and says, yeah, but I don't know why it's as if the quirk is completely blocked around me, so not working. Then they say that they have to wait for the others to arrive, which they arrived a bit earlier than what they did in the anime, simply because two of them are massively stronger than what they were in the anime. Basically, they can replace Deku by themselves, and basically go beyond that, so they pass easier. So then they basically tell them that for that day they're going to get a meal, but after that they have to cook themselves, which all of them are basically okay with. Sorry. Then Pixie Bob goes to say that Ida, Bakugo, Shoto, and Deku are her propriety to train, which Deku basically just said, I don't really need strength training. I just want to get over my weakness, so I'm probably just going to stay close to some place with water. Which she basically says, we're here to train your quirks, so you're still going to have to do something. Which Aizawa just tells her he has full control of his quirk. He can increase his temperature to that of this hottest lava on Earth, and basically melt some of the strongest metal extremely fast. Which she then asks, okay, but he still needs to train it, right? Which Deku, well, not even Deku actually, Shoto basically says he doesn't even need to think for his quirk to actually activate to protect him. Anything that touch him without his consent basically gets burned. Then Bakugo says, yeah, like the villain at the USJ, he lost his arm because of that. Which both Mandela and Pixie Bob looks at him like, wait, you took the arm of a villain? Which Deku basically told Bakugo to shut it, that it was an accident. He didn't even know actually that the guy was there, and he just plunged his hand in his back, so it kind of just melted all of his hand. So basically after that they go to eat, and I'm going to end it here before the training and then the attack. So hope you liked it. Leave a like if you did. Natsu out.